Now for our grammarian, our iconier, and the word of the day, Pat Caslin.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator, Sharon. Well, we had some interesting phrases. We had quite a lot of so's, actually. That was the main crutch word that was used. And few hours, a couple of double clutches, not too many, but so was used a lot. You might think about how do you get so as a conjunction to jump between one phrase and another out of your dictionaries. And anybody who likes, I'll tell you afterwards. We had our word of the day was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Kate used it, Judith used it, Vicky used it twice, Paul used it, and Sandra used it. And if anybody else used it, let me know because I didn't catch it. We had some wonderful use of language, but the best probably use of language was how April brought all of the themes that were discussed together in that last contribution and merged them into this great event that we're going to have that Vincent is going to organize for us. We're all going to get together at some point in the day that suits. It'll probably be lunchtime in Ireland. It'll be in evening time in the UK. And we're going to drink wine and see what we can come up with. So let me start off then. The great phrase that started all this was drinking club with a speech problem from Vincent. Kate had some wonderful use of phrases. Some people change because they see the light. Other people change because they feel the heat. Think about that. Isn't that wonderful? Feedback is a gift. And feedback is essential for learning and growth. And when we reject feedback, we deprive ourselves of learning and growth. I thought that was opposite for the context in which this meeting takes place. I liked Harold's use of the word emperor, describing himself as an only child. I once heard that described as somebody said to me, they always thought they were a lonely child when they were growing up, because they were an only child. There you go. Intergenerational connection from April Soon. We had slapstick humor from Paul Greenway. And from John White, well, we had a load of wonderful things. Subpar, undermine the great progress and tradition, magnanimous man. And infuse the membership drive. What a lovely phrase. An inflammatory speech was another one he used. And then Beverly, what an outright bitch I can be. Ooh. Muriel, a little too distant, I thought was a nice phrase. And shameless plug. Vicky, we knew that you knew. You may not want it, but I'm going to tell you that you need it when talking about evaluation. And I will finish with how all this came together with April pulling the themes of the meeting together so beautifully. Thank you for the wonderful use of language.
So now back to our general evaluator, Sharon Giles. Thank you, Pat, for that wonderful presentation. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, it is now time for me to give my evaluation of what I've seen thus far in the meeting. We did start on time. Thank you to our Sergeant at Arms for giving us the instruction. Turn off your cell phone. If you have to go to the bathroom, turn off your screen. We don't want to see you flushing. The theme, Judith, thank you. And John White certainly made a difference by being our Zoom master. The word of the day, opposite. This has been an opposite meeting. Drinking club with a speech problem. Vincent, I want membership in that. 90 minutes, 90 seconds. What does it matter? Just make a difference. Just make a difference. Victoria was the first one to say the word of the day. And yes, feedback is a gift. We do it every day. April told us, April Soon said, don't sit down. Get your butt up out of that rocker and get busy. Just rocking in that chair does not make you busy. One thing I need to caution us all. Now, in the Midwest, when we have contests, speaking contests, we have to turn off our screen so that you only see the speaker and the timer. And that means, and if you remember when we used to meet in person, if a person is speaking, we couldn't enter the room. I say this to say, if a speaker is speaking, do not flash things on your screen. That's a distraction. I saw something come up when Kate was speaking. That's a distraction. She could have stumbled throughout the remainder of her speech. Harold, you are a big deal. I don't care if you were the first child or the fifth, you're a big deal. Come together. I think April said that I said come together. It was Sandra who said come together. My come together is only from the Beatles. Let me see, I have a lot of notes here, but I think that I have completed my role as, no, just one more tip. I heard several evaluators come to give their objectives for the speaker, but they said they didn't have a title. They said they didn't have the objective of the speech. If you look at our website, if you click, once you put your information in about the speech, you can click on that and get all of the information you need if the speaker has filled out that form. And like I said at previous meetings, don't just put your name that you want to give a speech. It's like parking your car at the parking meter without putting money in the coin. I see the red light is on, so I'm going to take my seat.